Okay guys, I've been doing the painted ornament test. This is going to be ornament number 12 of 12 in my ornament series. And these are the painted ornaments. And I have tested two types of paint. This is the apple barrel paints, and it's in the flamenco red. It's 2 ounces, and you can find it anywhere from 50 cents to 99 cents a bottle. I don't know how many ornaments it will do because I've had this bottle for a little while, so I've used some out of it for other projects. This one is $1.99 from Hobby Lobby. It's 16 ounces. This is the tempera paints. I am finding that this one takes 3.5 hours drying time. And I did this over a dish instead of over the bottle on the first one so that air could circulate around it and maybe dry it faster. And right now I'm just got them sitting in there to drain all the excess paint out. And then I will move them over to a dish where air can circulate around them. However, this one, the tempera paints, it's still dripping slightly, not much, but it's almost dry. So I'm going to say it's going to depend on the temperature in your house, number one. And I've got my house is about 69 degrees. So that's probably hindering the drying factor just a little bit more. But I do know, because I tested this once before and I ended up throwing the ornament away because it was so bad. I put the paints in them and I tried to speed it up with a hairdryer to dry it, and the paint cracked. It just kind of crackled on the inside, so you don't want to do that. You want to let it air dry on its own. I do know that. But if you're going to do painted ornaments, you're going to have to be patient and have time. I'm used to using the pledge and the glitter, and in an hour I'm ready to, I've already got my vinyl on and I'm ready to put the caps back in. Because the glitter ones you can decorate, they don't drip and things of that nature. You can decorate while they're still drying, but you can't do that with these. You'll end up with a big mess. So if you're going to do the painted ornaments, you are going to need time, lots of time, because like I said, it takes longer to coat them, get them coated well on the inside. And then I noticed too that if you have any thin spots while it's drying, you still have to rotate the ornament around to cover up those thin spots where it drained faster in some places than others, or you're going to get a splotchy look. But it seems to be working. It coats well. Like I said, the white is the only one that I had a problem with, but usually white glitter, white anything, we always have, it tends to see through. So far my ornament in there looks just like this one, but it did have like a thin area in it. I just rolled it around a little bit, and the excess paint that was dripping was enough to cover it, so it wasn't a big deal. But you just want to check it about 2 hours into drying and see if you need to roll that paint around that's dripping just a little bit more, and you need to do that into both of them. I had to do it on both, not just the one. So but it was just a teeny tiny area on the darker color. It was a larger area on the lighter color. So that's going to conclude this part. I am going to wait on it to finish drying. I've got one set almost dry. I've got to cut my vinyl and make sure it's the right size and get that ready, and then we'll decorate these identical to them. I plan on doing a snowman, or I don't know, I haven't decided. I don't know if I want to make the white one into some type of a snowman thing, or if I want to. I've already done a Ray Dunn inspired. I'm thinking a Santa Claus on the red one and a snowman on the white one, but we'll see. We'll see what I come up with in the design space to put on them. And meantime, you guys get yours painted and get them drying. You're going to need some time. Be back shortly. Hey guys, it's April. I'm back. Okay, I kind of misspoke on the other one. I thought these were dry, where I used the apple barrel paints. They were not. These never dried. It's been 3 days. I just ended up washing that out and saved my ornament. So, no loss there, but now we know this paint just won't dry. There may be an additive that you can add to help them dry, but I didn't see that anywhere where anybody was painting them that they used any kind of additive. I was told that this is what they were using. That's what I did. It still took these almost 3 days to dry. Because I was like, well, it's a little damp. It's almost dry, but it's damp, and that was at the neck. So I just said, well, I'll turn it upside down for the rest of the night, and I'll come back and do it tomorrow. Well, I went back in there. It was still dripping. So I put a tissue in the bottom of the dish to see if it was dripping or if that was just where it was in the dish already. And it was still dripping yesterday. So it took these about 3 days to dry. My suggestion is buy the ornament already colored if you can. If not, then you're going to need some time. I have already cut, and I'll supply the file. This is a very simple file. It's nothing but a couple of squares, just changed the size of and a little bit of slicing. I did the foil on this, and I'm going to warn you guys. Let me see if it will focus on that. I don't know if it will. It's not real noticeable, but with the foil you can see I had to cut here and here for this to lie flat. I did go over the black part of it. You could probably slice that out as well if you wanted to. I was just trying to make this one as simple as possible because you want your kids to be involved too with the holidays and making the bows and the ornaments. So I used a foam square to put my bow on there because we don't want kids messing around with hot glue guns. If you have a low temp glue gun or they're a little older, I suggest gluing them on or letting them put them on with the foam square, and then while they're in bed, go in and hot glue it on. So that way they feel like that they made this all themselves. If you use a different type vinyl, you may not have to cut it, but we're putting this on a round ornament, and anytime you're putting something that cuts flat on a round ornament, you're going to have wrinkles unless you give it some relief cuts. So the foil is going to show your relief cuts a little bit more than a regular vinyl would. So just keep that in mind. And if you're using a disc ornament, it should lay flat, no problem. You won't have to do any relief cuts. So that being said, a few people are having trouble when they're cutting their vinyl. They're saying it's not cutting through. Guys, you're not cutting this backing. We do not cut the backing on this. If it cuts through at all on the backing, it's going to make it hard to weed. And because it's going to peel the paper up with it, and you don't want that. When you're weeding this, you just want to take off what you don't need and throw that away. If I can get it off my hands. And then you're left with this. And if you'll notice, I had the other one right here. You don't see any marks on that paper at all. That's exactly what you want. If you're cutting into that paper, you can see a line in that paper where you had cut. You're cutting too deeply. So you'll need to back off of your pressure just a little bit. I'm not using transfer tape on these because they're very simple projects. It's just a couple of squares, and the foil is so stiff you really don't need it. You can just peel that up, basically like stickers for this project. That's why it's easy for the kids to do. They don't need any transfer tape. There's no hassle. You'll just have to help them with this piece because it is a little bit long and you don't want it to stick to itself. You can leave it on the paper and just start it this way, putting it on. That way the tail doesn't get stuck to something, or if you're just doing it on your own, you can just peel it off. That's what I did on the other one. To make a bow, you can find this bow template or you can make one. It's just a square with a slit out of it. And then you're just going to wrap your ribbon around. And the number of times you wrap it around, see I have 2 here. That's the number of loops you're going to have. So make sure you have the same number on each side. And I have 2 loops over on this side, and then when I cut it, that's going to give me the other tail. Then you'll cut a short piece about, this is a 3-inch template. As wide as this template is the width of your bow. And I would say cut maybe a 6-inch piece. And then you're just going to run it through, bring it around, and tie a knot right here. And that's going to create this bow and give you 4 tails and the knot in the middle. Very easy for the kids to do. Same as using their fingers. So if you've got kids, you can use their fingers, have them hold their fingers and wrap it around, and then you're just going to tie it off. And then I have, this is a pre-made hanger I bought in a pack of at Hobby Lobby, but you can make one with your ribbon as well if you want it to match exact. And it's just a loop of ribbon with a knot at the top. Okay, and let's get started. And like I said, I don't recommend the paint. I'm not going to recommend it because it just takes so long. But you're just going to start middle of the ornament, and you're going to place your tape. And then you're just going to walk it around, making sure that it lays flat all the way around. I do better without the paper on there because I want to see, so I'm going to hold mine and just walk it around the ornament. You do what's easiest for you or for your kids. And I have a little bit of paint right there. I'll get it off. And don't let go of the tail. You can still pick that up and reposition if you need to, if you're getting any wrinkles or anything like that. You don't want those in there. And hopefully, when you get around to this side, they meet up. If not, you just pull it back and walk around because you're not straight. I hope I'm staying on camera for that. Yeah. That looks pretty good. And so you just got the black band around the red ornament. Then, like I said, just like a sticker, just peel that piece of foil off. And I am using the copper adhesive foil from Cricut. I couldn't find my sheet of scrap gold, and I didn't want to use a full piece for that. So I'm just going to lay that on there again, get it straight right here at the bottom of that, and let it go. And as you can see, I've got a wrinkle coming in. Kind of unavoidable on this because, like I said, flat ornament on a round ornament with a flat cut is not going to work. I've got that off a little too far. Don't want to stick it down yet, quite yet, not right there. You want to kind of line it up so that there's no gap. Let me cut the other side too, that way it will lie flat. Now your kids, you can just let them stick them on, and like I said, you can go back and do relief cuts later because it'll give you time if you're working in a day to, here we go back and re-stick these. I didn't have near as much trouble on my other one. Of course, that one was off camera. So, oops, I apologize. I'm still getting used to my tripod too, can you tell? The leg on this one sticks out so much further. And there, I'm just going to lay that down so that it meets up. Like I said, you can let them stick it on, leave the wrinkle in there. That's going to give you a place to take your tool and lift it up, go in there, make the relief cuts, press it back down. They're never going to know you did that. They're never going to know that you put the hot glue on their bow. And then you're just going to reinsert the top, stick our loop through, oops, I always do that backwards. Put your tails through the loop. There you go. This gold ribbon here that these are made out of doesn't slide as well as the others, but there we go. Just going to loop that on. And then I have a glue dot here. I'm just going to press right there on that and peel the paper off. Of course, you're going to go back. You're not going to tell the kids that you're going to go back and hot glue it. And then just let them stick their bow on. And arrange it. Of course, I should have arranged it before I stuck it on. Let me tighten that up a little bit. Come around and stick that bow on. And there you have it. There's their little Santa Claus ornament. And you can also put their name on here, whatever you want to do. Like I said, this was basically just to show, to do a comparison on paints, on what would work and what wouldn't. The apple barrel does work. Takes 3 days to dry. The tempera does not work. Don't recommend it. I don't recommend painting at all. Buy the bulbs already colored if you can. That's going to make it much simpler, much easier for the kids to do. You guys have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find this file in the video description. Click on the Show More. To subscribe to the YouTube channel, just click on the Crafting with April logo there in the right-hand corner of the video, and that will allow you to subscribe. Come over to the Facebook groups, Cricut Crafting with April and Cricut Maker Projects, and join up one of them or both. Doesn't matter. We're always doing something new, something exciting, and there are different projects posted in both groups. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you over in the group.